So the United States just launched a strike against Western Yemen, hitting over 100 targets, effectively starting a new conflict in the region that will go on for decades. Folks, welcome to the channel. And we've seen this before. Remember Afghanistan? Remember the Taliban? Remember how that raggedy tag of rebels actually ended up in greater power and in control of the entire country 20 years later, when the United States had to escape in an embarrassing manner from the country they invaded? Well, kind of the same thing. That's how this usually goes. Folks, what you just saw was a wide-scale attack. You are looking at, airport, military base. These are actually cities. These are not just airports or military bases. This is over 100 targets all across Western Yemen that is, yes, in Houthi control, which is in opposition, of course, to who? Well, who could it be? Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, so nice. Morocco, France, Senegal, United States, of course, and a bunch, Israel too, and a bunch of other countries. This is why this gets bombed. But when you look at these things, you have to analyze it, keeping in mind who you're getting your information from. This is, of course, CNN. This is the official stance of the U.S. government, which will always have a certain bias. So, as I always say, and this is important for you to understand and learn how to do, you have to look at different sources, different media outlets, so as to form a more accurate opinion. Now, you would think that Al Jazeera, of all of them, would be a little bit more objective in this regard, but kind of, and maybe not so much. Check it out yourselves.
Hello, we begin with breaking news at this hour. Explosions have been reported.
Yeah, and when they say they attacked an airport and a military base, this is what they actually end up doing.
Reported in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, and the
There you go. There you go. Military base, kid.
port city of Hodeidah. U.S. officials say American and British troops have launched strikes against targets linked to the Houthis there. It is the first time strikes have been carried out against the Iran-backed group since it started attacking ships in the Red Sea late last year. The Houthis claim they're only targeting ships linked to Israel in response to the war on Gaza.
Oh, well, war is an interesting word when actually what they're calling this is genocide, and that's what they're being accused of. And with over 20,000 innocent men, women, and children being destroyed, kind of a solid case that they're making. So they're attacking the Israeli-linked ships, and that's why the United States has to go to war against Yemen without approval of Congress. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Well, not so much. When Israel says to the United States, you go do this, the United States goes and does it for reasons they know themselves. We can only assume which those are. It's strange how that works. But anyway, let's keep on watching this.
Before the strikes, the group's leader vowed to respond to any so-called aggression.
We will not hesitate to do everything we can, and we will confront the American aggression.
I've only known about the existence of this guy in like 5 minutes since I started looking into all of this. He is making more sense than anyone else involved. It is true what he just said. It is American aggression. They were attacking the Israeli ships in response to the massacre in Gaza, right? And it's quite clear. Stop massacring people in Gaza. Stop bombing Gaza. Will stop attacking your Israeli ships. So United States attacks Yemen because of that? I mean, couldn't you just go talk with Israel and say, you know what? You bombed this place to rubble already. There's nothing left here. All you have right now is a bunch of desperate people that are already dying, and you're telling them to move from the north to the south, and then you bomb the south, and then you tell them to go east, and you bomb the east, and then you tell them to go to Egypt. If not, you will be exterminated. And when they go to the Egyptian border, you bomb that as well, and you've been doing this for 2 months. Could you please calm the fuck down and let's de-escalate this? No. Okay, so that's the response. That's the rational response. So the guy with the dagger is making more sense than most of the West.
Aggression will never remain without a response, and the response will not only be at the level of the recent operation that targeted Americans at sea with more than 24 drones and several missiles. The response will be greater than that, and more than that. And with that, we are more determined to continue and target ships linked to Israel. We will not back down from that, and our position stems from our faith. The Americans should know what that means.
Interesting. You know what's even more interesting? When you watch the unedited version that Al Jazeera is putting out there, where he explains even further.
واستهداف السفن المرتبطة بإسرائيل ولن نتراجع عن ذلك وموقفنا إيمان.
Our position is one of faith. The Americans should know what that means. But then, the following 10 seconds clarify things even further. We say to all countries, to Asia, China, and others, and we say to European countries and the world, we say to everyone in the world, there is no problem for you to traverse and pass through the Red Sea. The only targets are ships linked to Israel. This is them responding to what Israel is doing in Gaza. It's not you. All right? So the only country the United States managed to drag along into this madness, UK. Because UK, let's be honest, is pretty much a lapdog of the United States at this point when it comes to military intervention. No other country wanted any of this. And for good reason. This is a shit show that you want to have no part of. This is Afghanistan all over again. This is people that have been doing this and live like this forever, and you will not gain anything. You can kill a bunch of them. You can bomb the crap out of this place just like it happened in Afghanistan. All you will achieve is another forever war, another 20 years. And in 20 years from now, when the United States finally leaves Yemen, the only thing they will see is that, yes, Yemen is more Houthi than ever, and you will be poorer than ever before, because this shit show, I'm not going to pay for it, you will. You will pay for this shit show, and that's the end of all of this. It's the transfer of wealth through military contracts that are justified. With this insanity, they justify the military contracts that will make the elites even richer than they are already, and you may be making more money, but you will buy less with it. You will, in fact, be poorer than before, and the transfer of wealth will have been achieved, as they always do. See you on the next video. Take care.